Hey, Carlos, just wanted to do a quick video tonight. Just to let you all know that I had an inquiry come through from one of our customers recently, and I've been seeing more and more of this. Actually, this is happening more and more with commercial jobs where you end up having less and less time to organise gear for the projects. These days, it's in the past you might have had a couple of months to organise. A few megawatts worth of racking for one of these jobs, but it seems like the inquiries coming through and the lead times for these things are getting shorter and shorter. So I wanted to make a very quick video tonight, just giving you a little bit of info about the best solution for those types of projects. So the one that we're looking at today, it's looking like we've got about 4 weeks to organise the racking for these projects. So I think it was roughly 2 or 3 megawatts, this project. And so the outcome was there was 2 things that needed to be done. One was to be able to organise all the stock in time at a reasonable price for the project, which was starting in 4 weeks. And the second thing was to organise a site-specific structural engineering certification for these projects. So just to touch on the site-specific engineering first of all, site-specific engineering certs, they usually take around 2 weeks from the point where we send out the list that needs to be filled in with all the site details so that our structural engineering team can put together a quote, and then following that, once approved, a site-specific engineering cert. If you want to, if you need to go down that path, like I mentioned, it's going to be about 2 weeks generally, or 10 working days. And if you want to go down that path, just flick an email over to engineering@clenergy.com.au, and they'll flick you back a form that needs to be filled in, and then they can come back with a quote, preliminary evaluation, which is to begin with, they'll give you some details about what the estimated spacings will be. It doesn't cost you anything at that point. And then, but if you're in a rush, then you'll want to go straight ahead and get that certs organized as well. Following on from that, you want to be able to deliver stock on these projects within a reasonable amount of time. So in those cases, especially with what's going on at the moment, I don't know if anyone's aware of this, but if you've seen the news lately, if you look at Sydney Port, there's huge problems with getting stock through the ports in Sydney. Not only in Sydney, also in other places around Australia. But Sydney seems to be one of the most delayed ports in the world at the moment with everything going on. So there's a bunch of ships that are sort of waiting in line to get into port. There's a bunch of ships in port waiting to get refilled with empty containers. There's a global shortage of empty shipping containers at the moment. On top of that, I believe that there's some strike action on the wharf at Sydney, which is causing further delays. So, trying to get stock out of our manufacturing arms in China or Indonesia or wherever it might be is pretty futile at the moment. You're looking at somewhere between 7 to 9 weeks for those sort of orders. So really, the only option you're left with is to source local gear, and so the wholesalers do carry a fair amount of local products, but a lot of times they rely on Clenergy also to provide locally made products, or just local stock in general. Best thing to do if you've got a project coming up, a large scale commercial project, you need to get stock within about 3 or 4 weeks time. Best thing to do is to spec CutterRail on those projects. CutterRail is made locally. It's made out of, at the moment, we can manufacture out of Ipswich and Perth, and then ship from or road freight from those locations. The normal lead times is around about 2 weeks on those. So, and the pricing is more competitive on those products, on those rail products in general. So it ticks a number of boxes. You're going to get a competitively made rail product, and the rail usually makes up around 40% of the total cost of the system. And you're going to get a locally made product, and also you're going to get it within the time frame that you need it. So keep that in mind. Think about CutterRail next time you've got a project coming up that needs to be done within a really short time frame. And we also carry a load of stock for as far as components go, as well as the wholesalers. So we got you covered on the non-penetration clamps. You can check out the new i34. We've got plenty of stock. Tilt legs, tin feet, whatever it might be. We've got the components. The rails can be an issue sometimes, and also as far as cost goes, you want to keep your costs down on those rails as much as possible. So check out the CutterRails, check out the local structural engineering support, and also remember to like and subscribe on this video, and I'll keep coming back with more content for you guys. Thanks, Cutters.